Hi everybody, welcome to Fresno City College. My name is Mr. Forestier and I'm going to be your online instructor for this class. I'm going to do one recording because I have multiple sections, web sections of sp19, so pretty much it's the same structure for whichever class that you're in. When you get into my IT lab and you log in, you set up your account, you'll see a screen that looks like this. You'll click on your course and then you'll see the start page or whatever. The getting started area here at the top, you need to come in and check the time zone. Remember that we're in California, so that's Pacific Standard Time, and then put in your student ID, your school student ID number in there. The course materials area, where you'll spend a lot of your time this semester, all your assignments and grades and tests and things like that, or excuse me, tests will be in there. And then the grades tab, where you can check your custom view of your grade once a month to kind of know how things are going. Let's go ahead and go into the course materials. Now, the first thing in the course materials you can see is I put a copy of the welcome letter that you should have already received. That's probably why you're watching this video right now. And so there's a copy of the welcome letter. There is a FAQ sheet. You might check before you send out emails, whatever, to say, hey, maybe there's an answer that's already been for a question that's already been asked. And then a copy of the course outline, which I'm going to go through in just a moment. A copy of the ebook for this class. You do not have to purchase a physical book for this class because the electronic one is embedded inside of my IT lab, so you're good to go. And then there is a folder for each of the weeks of the semester, okay, all the way down until we get done in May. All right, let's go ahead and open up the course outline. Now, from the course outline, the top of the information, the course outline, is all my contact information. Probably the most important thing is to use my school email account. Now, this class does not use Canvas, so everything is going to be done through the regular email process. So you might want to keep that in mind, okay? So I won't be activating the Canvas account at all for this class, okay? And then we'll break down here for week to week. So the first week of school here is kind of an introduction. You need to get my IT lab, you need to get it registered, and you need to get it purchased no later than the 19th. No temporary accounts are going to be allowed after the 19th. If you do not have it registered by the 16th, by Wednesday, the first week of school, you'll be dropped as a no-show. The school has to drop you if you did not perform the class. And so you have until Wednesday the 16th to register the account, and you have until the following Saturday, the 19th, to make sure it's a paid account and not a temporary one. If it has not been paid, then you're going to be dropped from the class. Okay, this is a pretty impacted class. All the 15 sections online are pretty impacted, so you know, if you get dropped, you may not be able to take CIT 15 until next semester. Okay. All right, then there's a breakdown for each week, as you can kind of see. What I did was if there were assignments like here for week 2, where it's using chapter 1, Windows assessments, and then I put a due date in there. And typically our due dates are always going to be Saturday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, the servers for the MIT lab are on the East Coast, and I wanted to make sure that we shut down at 9 o'clock on the West Coast, so it coincides with their midnight. Okay. What we have is quizzes that are broken down and hands-on tests that are basically broken down 3 or 4 times in the semester, and then eventually a final. Okay. As we scroll down here, you'll see information about email. If you're going to email me, I typically can respond to your email within 24 hours, Monday through Thursday. But you know what? I'm not available on the weekend and stuff, so if you send me an email on Friday, chances are I'm not going to respond to it until Monday. So please keep that in mind, especially as you're going through your work and assignments, that I'm offline and stuff after Friday, or starting on Fridays, okay? So if you email the other days, I can usually get back to you either the same day or by the next day, okay? But if you wait and then do it on Friday, I'm not going to be of any help at all. Now, there's going to be a tutor that I'll let you know, and so the tutoring center will be available on all sorts of days and stuff. When they get those contact information, I'll let you know on that one as well. Okay. Required for this class, you must have a PC or a Mac. Okay. If you're going to use a Mac computer, you have to also get Microsoft Office 2016 for Windows. Okay, the Microsoft Office for Mac won't work for everything because it does not have Access in it, and Access is a major part of this class, a major part of the grade. So if you're going to use a Mac, you'll have some issues that you have to deal with in terms of the keyboards are not the same as a PC, and you could probably get around most of that. But the deal breaker is you must have Microsoft Office 2016 for Windows, which means in order to run Windows, you'll have to have Boot Camp or VMware to set that up, okay? And you can talk with Tech Services or check with the Apple Store to see if they can help you out. That's not something that we do as part of this class, so I'm letting you know ahead of time. If you have Windows, you got a PC, like Windows 10 or something like that, you're probably going to be good to go. You definitely can, everything can function under Microsoft Office, so you'll need to get Microsoft Office for Windows whether you have a PC or a Mac. Okay, so Microsoft Office 2016 for Windows, that's what you need to have. You need to have reliable high-speed internet traffic. please, dial-up isn't going to do it, okay? You need my T-Lab, okay, purchased, okay? It's about $85, $90, somewhere in there, okay? Here's a link and stuff on the purchase if you go inside, and then in your welcome letter we'll have the actual course ID, and when you use that Fresno City College with that 5-digit number, you actually get that discount pop up, that, again, $85, $90, somewhere in there, okay? A copy of the ebook, like I said, is embedded as part of my T-Lab. Tech support. If you have problems in this class and you're having some difficulty with your school email account or my IT lab itself, I'm not your tech support person. So please keep that in mind. If you're having difficulties, if you think that my IT lab is not working right, if you think a task is not working right, contact my IT lab directly. Okay. If you're having an email problem with the school, contact the school directly, because again, I'm not your tech support person. Okay. Microsoft Office 365, you can get that for $6.99 per month. Here's a link as well. Again, if you don't have a school email, well, you should have a school email, but for some reason, if it's not active, you go check and make sure it's active and it's working, because you're going to use that to communicate in this class, okay? Attendance for this class, basically for an online class, is taken, I have to take classes weekly, okay? And basically, if you go 2 weeks where you have not done anything in a 2-week period, and it's not consecutive, so if you don't do anything in week 2 and you don't do anything in week 4, then you're going to get dropped from the class. So it does not have to be consecutive. 2 weeks, you're going to get dropped, okay? So please, keep that in mind. If you don't have your My T-Lab registered by Wednesday the 16th, as I said before, you're going to get dropped as a no-show. If you don't have a paid account by the 19th, Saturday the 19th, 9 p.m., you're going to get dropped from the class. And again, if you set up a temporary account and it's not paid for by Saturday the 19th, you're going to get dropped from the class. So I'm going to make sure this is information right up front, so that if you're going to stick with this class, you got to get on top of it, because we can't afford to just get further behind, okay? Basically, you could be dropped for lack of satisfactory progress, okay? If you wanted to drop your class, you can do so all the way up until the drop deadline, which is around March or so, about 9 weeks into the semester, and you can drop. After the drop deadline, you won't be allowed to drop. Here's a breakdown of the grading policy, standard point systems, the number of quizzes, hands-on tests, things like that, and then a final. The final is textbook only, okay? Quizzes in my T-Lab, we have what are called trainings, and we have assessments, okay? The trainings will give you an answer step-by-step on how to do something. The assessments will presume you already know the training and you'll be able to do it without assistance, okay? And then what we'll do is eventually once a month we'll have a hands-on Word test, or we'll have a hands-on Excel test, or an Access test. And those tests will actually be live right in the application. That's why you have to have Microsoft Office for Windows 2016 on your computer. So that does not come with my T-Lab. You need that in addition, or get to a computer that has it. So if your friend has it, if your aunt has it, Office 2016 for Windows, you can take the test at their location, not a problem, okay? All right. The final is comprehensive, but it's on the entire 13 chapters of the textbook. There is no hands-on final. It's basically a multiple choice final, so keep that in mind. Okay. As I mentioned, the assignments are labeled in yellow for due dates. Okay. Typically will be Saturday 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, because we're here in California. When you're doing a training and it's showing you step by step, you can do that as many times as you want. When you're doing an assessment, you have a maximum of 3 times you can do an assessment, but I will keep your highest score. I don't keep any track of any of the trainings. I think that's a learning curve for you guys as you're going through it. So the trainings, you can do them as many times or as few times as you want to do, because I'm not going to record any of the trainings for your grades. Your grades will be based upon the assessments, the quizzes, the hands-on test, and the final. Okay? If you plan on cheating in this class, please make sure you read this about cheating and academic dishonesty. Okay? Probably the most important thing for people to pay attention is you cannot use a download file from another student and submit it as your own for a hands-on test. That would be cheating. Okay? So please make sure that when it comes to these things, you are doing this work yourself on your computer and you're not using somebody else's file, and it can check. This will be able to check for integrity violations. Okay? So when you download a file, it embeds your ID into that file. Okay? It's deep-seated into the code of that file. And so if you were to share that with somebody else, they and you would be basically dismissed for academic dishonesty. So just don't do it. I think you'll be fine. Okay? General policies and stuff, I reserve the right to change the schedule. I don't do that very often, but please keep that in mind. Okay? If you need some assistance on the American Disabilities Act, we have a disabled student program here. Please go ahead and check with them. Anyway, and then finally over in this area here, the grades tab. Again, the grades section itself has a breakdown all the weeks folder, but what I will do is create the custom view, and in the custom view, I will get kind of a running total that I will update every single month so that you can get an idea of what your progress grade is as you're encountering the class throughout the semester. So hopefully this has been informative. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, week 1, get registered. Week 2, you have a chapter 1 that you got to start reading and going through it. So please keep that in mind. You'll go ahead and take a look at, come back to the main menu, course materials, and then I'll just kind of show you the week 1 here for just a moment. Let it pop up. Here we go. So under the week 1 folder, these are all the things that you should do in week 1. You should go through the weekly announcements folder and make sure that you've watched this weekly announcement, you read this information, you verified your student ID number, you've taken a tour of trainings and a hands-on test, which is to be the grader project. That's week 1, okay? And then week 2, we start from there, okay? So anyway, hope this has been informative. Again, good luck. Welcome to the class. Bye.